Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Tarot with Anne-Marie. How are you on this Tuesday where we have some nice cards in store for you once again. So the One Family, action, action, action. So let's delve into the card that we're looking at tonight and how we're going to pair that with another card and what it means when it combines. So here we are. There we go. We have the lovely Three of Wands for you, and that's the card that we are studying this evening. So each time I'll be changing the Major Arcana card. Any requests, you're very welcome to come and join me or discuss anything you want to. I've just put the link on there now. That should have just gone straight to you. Talking of links, let's put this one on, and you are welcome to participate in this tutorial. Always welcome, you know that. So let's just put the link on there for a second and then we'll dive right in to the Three of Wands. Hey, so what have we got today? We have got that Three of Wands, and I've decided to put on the screen for you the first card in the Major Arcana 0, which is the Fool. So what does it mean if we get the Fool card and we also get this card, the Three of Wands? So I've put some keywords on there for you to follow along, make things easier so that you can actually try and figure out what this pair work might actually mean. So if you've got the Fool is a million things, and there's all my tutorials that you can look at and watch to find out what we said about the Fool. We did a whole hour's tutorial on each card. We've worked our way through the Major Arcana and through the Suit of Swords 1 to 10 and the Suit of Cups 1 to 10. Now we're working our way through the Wand family, and we are going 1 to 10. When I finish, it will be the Pentacles, and then we'll move on to the Court cards because there's something else. So, and they're brilliant, don't worry about them, it's just that it's a little bit different, and that's where you get all of the depth out of your readings if you know your Court cards. So there's one that you must not miss in the future. For now, we've got the Three of Wands, and it's a beautiful card because it has so many meanings. But the Fool itself can mean something new, and that's the key word that I've chosen for that one particular card, and that's going to stay there. But we're going to be changing some of the keywords that come up with Three of Wands, and we did a whole tutorial on what the Three of Wands means last week, and if you're watching the replay, you will be able to see at the end the podcast of where all of those lessons actually are. So, new exploration. That's what this pair could mean. In what context? Well, the Wand family is always action, and the Wand family is fire, and fire doesn't hang around. So this is a burning exploration of something brand new. But remember what new means. It means you have no idea. You are naive. You do not know how this blueprint's going to go with your exploration. You don't have the answers. How could you? You've not done it before. So will it work? Well, you are going to discover how that journey is going to go, but you're not going to find out unless you take action. And action is telling us here with the Three of Wands that there's something big and new to explore. So another meaning that this could actually be for the Three of Wands is to stretch beyond your comfort zone into something new. Dare to do something different. Dare to actually, instead of doing the same old, if you always do the same old, you'll always get the same results. So in this context, what have we got? We've got the fact that it's action. Now let's say that it was a general reading and there's no question being asked, and you get these two cards and say, right, you are definitely stretching beyond your comfort zone into something new where it will require you to take action. And that action is probably going to be coming up. It will tell you in the position. So if it's in the position of the self or the spiritual advice, it's going to change. If they're asking about work, new, stretch beyond your comfort zone. If it's in the position of others, new people are going to make you stretch beyond your comfort zone. If it's spiritual advice, it's saying there's new starts where you're stretching beyond your comfort zone in your spirituality. You're discovering new ways that is probably taking you out of the old and into something very different, something that you are not familiar with. That's what the Fool means. But also stretching beyond your comfort zone means it's not going to happen unless you actually take action. And that requires the fact that you're being given the opportunity. It's what you actually do with that right now. The next thing that the Three of Wands could mean in our general reading is something new that will require a lot of future planning. Of course, number one, you're naive, you don't know anything about this, you've got no history, you've got absolutely no training, you've never done this before, you don't know the ropes, you don't know how it's going to be. If it was about a relationship and you're going, well, what's Wands doing in the relationship? Might mean that you may have some new horizons that will cause you to actually plan ahead for the future. And that could be this. Creation of partnerships. Now, partnerships, as I said just a moment ago, if it's a relationship, it might be, okay, you are now stretching beyond your comfort zones with future planning. It's all brand new to you, but it's the creation of a partnership. You're working together, you're working at it. And that might be because of this keyword for the Three of Wands. Could be to do with relocation. So if the relationship's going to actually grow, might need one party to leave behind the familiar in order to actually get the relationship growing and going in a brand new direction because of relocation. Moving closer to your partner or your partner moving closer to you. It's going to have consequences for everybody, good, bad, and navigating a few bumps along the way. Why? Because there's some mountains there, but they're far off. You can see them. You know that it's not going to be easy, but you'll cross that bridge when you get to it, and everything looks very smooth in that card, as you can see. So this is another meaning for the Three of Wands, progression. So let's say it was about that relationship. That relationship is progressing. It's moving into a new direction. Progress. That's what this is about. And of course, another key meaning for the Three of Wands is, of course, it's a big travel card. So it could involve traveling together or traveling because you're relocating, or maybe actually creating a new beginning that involves both of you having to up and leave, being given an opportunity. Maybe one of you's got work, maybe both of you's got work, or you've got the promise of families saying, come, we've got work for both of you. These things do happen. So that's possible meaning of this general sort of, I've not put a question there at the moment. And if anybody wants a special card, to change the major arcana and a special request of that, I'm only too happy. Otherwise you'll get my selection. All right. And you can type in the comments there. You're more than welcome to come on. Do say hello if you are watching. Hi there to people on YouTube. And we've got a couple in my page tonight. Thanks for watching on there too. Okay. So what have we got next? The next thing that we are going to put on the screen by getting rid of that keyword is, let's take it to the complete opposite. The World card coming up. And if we've got the World card, we've got a keyword for that. As I said, I know there are plenty. Tutorial again on the World card in the podcast, which I'll put up on the screen in a minute. If you want to look at where the podcasts are, go to my channel and just put Podcast Learn Tarot. You'll find them there. So we've got a card of completion, a beautiful card of completion. And so card of completion, that's actually the World card. Completing what? Let's say it's a general question. They've given you oh, I just want a general reading, I've got no questions, and you go along with it. You know, if that's what you're going to do, you've got to try and put it together, haven't you? You know, you can ask questions. I said this all the time, but let's assume it's a general. Okay, so, you know, something here is telling us there's been a cycle completed. It now might require that in order for you to progress, you've got to travel. Now, that might be that the completion of your cycle actually was about the fact that maybe you were abroad, and therefore you're able now to think about that's completed, I'm able to decide where I want to go next. Or it may be you have completed something like you've got your qualifications, your studies, everything's as it should be, therefore you have all the qualifications to be able to say that you are available worldwide for travel, which might be because, of course, most of us need to work, so it's probably linked to that in some shape, manner or form. So this is about maybe thinking, well, if you have completed your studies, then, you know, in order to understand the Three of Wands, you're going into a cycle of progression, and you're progressing in an area that's much more than the small sort of, let's call it fish pond, that you have been looking in your world, and you are stepping out of that and looking beyond where you actually are in order to progress. It may involve the completion of you being able to say, okay, I'll only get a job if I relocate, and relocation is coming up if you've got Three of Wands. Or it might mean that you are in a position of stretching beyond your comfort zone. I didn't really want to have to move, but maybe you're looking at the options of, well, why? Why did I want to stay here? Maybe some big old questions. Maybe I assumed I'd be here, but it's not working out, so maybe I've got to look further afield. And so that might be that you've now got to start looking at exploration. Okay, so there's just some of the combined simple meanings. I haven't got a question, so, and we haven't got a spread. And I teach you all that on the course, how to do the spread, and always really to have a question is much better. It really is. And then you really know what you're digging in and finding. But if it is a general, that could be some of the examples of what these combined cards actually mean, using the Three of Wands with the World card. All right, let's get rid of the World card and bring in another one. All right. Oh, lovely one. So let's say we've got the Justice card coming up with the Three of Wands. What could that combination mean? Well, it's a card of partnerships. It means many things. I know that, you know that, and if you don't, believe me, it can. So how would you know which one? Well, that's where you've got to actually say, listen to what I'm telling you, and it's up to you. Ask the question, what's brought you here for a reading? How can I help? What's on your mind today? You know, we've only got a short time together. I don't want to be going through lots and lots of cards in my spread or in my reading, whichever it is you choose to do, and not be able to answer the question that's brought you here today. Well, I just wondered whether the cards would pick it up. The cards will pick up everything. It's whether or not I pick it up quickly enough in the time we have allocated together. You can't stay there until you pull, you know, the magic. Oh, you read my mind. That's exactly what I was here to ask. You are good. It's up to you. But really and truly, what a waste of somebody's reading if they really wanted. You know, of course they want to benefit from the insight. But usually people have a question and they want you to guess it. And you're not there to do that. You're there to read their cards. It's for them to tell you what their question is. The reading will go much better. You'll be more comfortable. They'll be more comfortable. And they will be able to get down to the facts. Then they can look at the other bits and pieces that actually come up in the tarot's advice within their reading or your spread. Okay, so partnerships with the Three of Wands, what could that be? Well, that could involve the fact that we are also looking at exploring partnerships. Now, in what way? In every way. Libra is, to do with so many things, but we're going to keep it to partnerships because we are going to be talking about the fact that it's personal, matters of the heart, romance, partnerships as in maybe of friends, of colleagues, partnerships as in maybe you are the tarot reader and you're going to go and work with another tarot reader and you're going to form some sort of partnership, or you are going to actually be part of something where you are given a reward, like the John Lewis partnership, where you work for somebody who gives you shares in what, by working they want to keep you. They've chosen you well and they don't want you to go anywhere else. So they're giving you a big sort of insight into, well, you know what? If you stick with us, we'll reward you. Partnerships, all kinds of partnerships. Yes, it can mean legalities and you need to stay away from those kind of questions unless you want to get sued. Up to you, of course. You want to look at the fact that justice is about equality, it's about balance, it's about tipping the balance, it's about fairness, it's about what's just might not be what's fair might not be just, all of those kind of things. We've chosen the key word about partnerships. So let's say that it's a general reading, somebody comes up and they go, throw the cards out for me, I've got a lot on my mind and I don't know what to ask. I am in such a jumble, and if you just give me a couple of cards, then maybe I can work it out. You pull this out and you say, right, I feel there's partnerships, and you're exploring your options with partnerships, and they go, yeah, you know what, I've got this business and I am really considering that I can't do it all on my own and I do need somebody. But what kind of partnership? Do you want somebody that's actually financially your partner? Do you want somebody to be getting all the perks that you get, 50-50, 60-40, all sorts of different questions? Or are you just looking to partner with somebody? Maybe you want to partner as a tarot buddy, someone that you actually go, I really just want to read for them and then read for me and get the feedback. That's a partnership. Don't assume. Don't make it more than it is. That's what I'm saying. All right? And feel free to ask your client or the person that you're reading for if they're not a paying customer. It's only then that you are able to find out how to help them best by actually looking at their question and giving the tarot's guidance that's coming up for them. It's for them to make sense of, it's not about, there are readers that just go, well, you know what, this is about fairness and justice and you'll know what that means. And the Three of Wands, you've created this yourself. I've heard people say things like that and it's like, that sounds really like you're not approving of what I've done so far. It can be. You need to have empathy and actually say, look, partnerships, you're actually exploring your options here and working out whether, first of all, you want one, or if you're in one, whether you want to stay in one, or whether you want to replace it with another one, or whether you want a partnership at all. You're looking at that. Thing is, Three of Wands is saying you're ready to make a decision. You might not know what the decision is, but you're ready. You've got to that point and it's like, I've got to do something. I can't just sit where I am. I can't just stay in this place. So that's a good sort of combination of what this power could actually mean. Please do actually say hi or type a question because I don't know what it is you'd like me to explore. Again, a bit like saying with the tarot reading, what is it you'd like me to look out for you? All right. So partnerships, it could involve the fact that the Three of Wands is talking about travel. So how does that tie in? Well, your partnership might actually be that it's a global partnership. That you're the UK Tarot with Anne-Marie tuition, and then it becomes a partnership that's Tarot with Anne-Marie tuition global.com. I'm.com, but you get my drift. Yeah, that you're actually going, I'm stepping outside of where you're coming from. You can hear by my accent, I'm from the UK, so might be going beyond the UK. I am beyond the UK. I did that a long time ago, but you might too. And I know that we've got social media that allows us to connect with that. But what if it's the case if you're actually looking to say, no, I want to go there in person. I want to do some of the events, some of the actual, mind, body and spirits. I want to do some of the psychic shows. I want to see what's on offer. I want to go to New York. I want to go off to Europe. I want to see what's happening in Australia, Canada, because they're all different. And they will. They'll have their different kind of flavours on things. And you might want to travel to explore what might be there for you. It's also a card, obviously, as in you're wanting to make progress by being in a partnership, or the partnership that you're in is helping you make that progression, and you're being reminded that you're on the right track. See that? Okay. If it was something that was, the only thing this would be negative in is where we've got something that's crossing us, where something is actually, what's the problem? And in my spread, we have something as in, what is the problem for this person? If based on current events, what's going on now that's getting in their way of what they are trying to achieve based on their current wants, actions and circumstances with the background effects that's already going on. And so it might be that that person's saying, right, okay, there's a partnership holding me back. I'm not making progress because of it. How many of us has been there? Where it's not working out for you. But that would be the only thing that's negative. I get asked a lot about whether to actually do reverse cards. You can do what you want, okay? But you don't need to do reverse cards if you work with Paz. And my channel is about teaching you about cards and what they mean, and how you could know everything about the card that I have learned that I felt would be useful to share with you. Of course, I could go on about the history of tarot and this and that and the other. Other people do that. I didn't want to take the precious time up by going over something that you could find somewhere else. I wanted to give you something fresh, different perspective, and something that you actually said, gosh, I've not come across this before, or this is something I've come across, but there's more meat on the bone here. I actually am digging deeper to find out what's behind it, and stuff that is useful. Remember, I have been a reader, I have run psychic platforms, I have run courses, I've taught it in person, I've done tarot software, and made my own deck. And I started all of this back in, my first website was 1999, but I've been reading before that and teaching before that. So it was all in person, it was all at shows, it was all at people's homes, it was tarot parties, or they came to me. And I didn't like that very much. Or you could go and, have a stall or a shop or whatever you wanted to do. Now it's much more available on the internet, of course. So I was one of the first to make it that people could work remotely. So back then that was a big thing in 2006, to be able to say, I can give you a job and you can work from home and you can work it around the kids. And you can get paid, but you'll only get paid if you actually get a call and your talk time, because we can't pay you for the fact that you're just sitting there and nobody's choosing you. So that's the downside. I like to tell people the downside. All right. Same if you go to a show, you could actually spend £200 on a table for one day. And that table is your place because they've done the advertising, they've got the people there, and everybody walks past you and chooses someone else. And we've all been there. But a lot of people are often just lingering, sitting, watching, waiting, And so instead of just sitting there and chatting, sometimes it's nice if you are doing something that would make somebody sort of feel that they want to approach you. Hey, how are you today? What's brought you here? We brought some crystals out there. Lovely. Yeah, I love that. And there's some great music over there if you want to go and check it out. And they go, actually, I want you reading. Can I sit down and have one with you? That's how you do it. Yeah? And if they don't, they'll probably do exactly what you said and come back to you. And it's nothing more than making a connection. And if the connection is, you'll feel it, they'll feel it, and they won't come back. And that'll do you both a favour. So that's in person. On the phone, it's got to be a voice. It's got to be that you are taking that lead, that control. On Messenger, the girls and boys, of course, they used to work on Messenger for us, were quite simply, they would go, some of them would go, hello, my dear, how are you today? Not my style, but that was their style. Yeah. Or, hey, how are you? That's not my style either. You know, it's not the language I speak. I didn't like Messenger. I didn't know what to say, but I wouldn't have said either of those. I would have probably gone, hello, you're through to Emery, how can I help? That's what I used to say verbally. But, you know, and I know that Messenger is, I've only got a short period of time, I've only got X amount of characters that I've paid for, or it's a time thing. I understand it's very rushed. And if you like that, do that. But if that's not for you, try phone readings. If that's not for you, try email. Even worse for me, because I would want to actually rewrite the whole thing 100 times, because I was never, I'm a perfectionist when it comes to that. Talking, I've said it. I'm going through it, and you know, I'm able to communicate with you, and I'm making a connection with you. I don't feel that connection when I'm actually doing an email reading. Why? It doesn't do it for me, but it will do it for a lot of people, and that's what's important. What do you want? How do you want it to be? Let's choose another card. Okay, let's go with this one. Oh, star card. So, I don't know, because I just have pages with numbers on. I don't know what's on there when I spin the PDF. You'd think I would, but I don't. I spend so long doing other things that was really strange. My headset was kind of just saying it's dying when it said it was charged. That's because one of them's got 90% and the other one's got 10%. Sorry, that was very distracting. So, the star card. And the key word that I've chosen for the star card is coming up on the screen. Where is it? Hope. There we are. I knew the word, I just couldn't find it. So, we know it means a lot of things, and the star card, of course, is linked to Aquarius, and Aquarius is about anything to do with computers, technology, knowledge, information of the technical kind. Communities, as I said, it's also a card of healing. It's also to do with social media. So let's say, no question, somebody comes and says, I'm an arrived old pickle, just put a couple of cards. I haven't really got a question. I've got hundreds. I just don't know which one to ask. I don't mind working with anyone that says that, whether they're in a bit of a pickle or a muddle. But when they're kind of like, no, you just tell me, that's no good for anyone. But they exist. It's how you actually say, okay, sure, we'll do that. But we might be here all day until you actually get the reply that you actually came for. But let's go. You switch it. And they will probably go, and go, actually, what I really wanted to say, or not. Very rare do they turn around and say, you know, something like, well, that's not what was in my mind. And it's like, I can't read your minds, can I? So, the star card, hope, wishes, social media, our community. Community includes where we live, the places we go to, where our hobbies are, where places of worship, of course, community. You know, if your faith is that you are Sikh, or you are Catholic, or, you know, that you come from some Buddhist community, that is Aquarius and what it links to. Communities. It could be your community of your hobbies. It could be your community because you do Irish dancing, or, you know, your community because you're with the art pack, you know, or you're a linguist and your community is, yeah, you all gather, or the community of psychics, you know, where you get astrologers and you get tarot readers. You get it. You know what I'm saying. And so you get the Three of Wands and you think, crikey, what does this power mean? and they've not given you a question, and you say, okay, your hopes and wishes are going into progress. Three of Wands is it's presenting opportunities for you. It's time to make progress with that. And it's like, what you've just said, Anne-Marie, about the community. Yeah, what you want to happen within your community, and that could be your followers, like on social media, or it could be the people that you worship with, it could be the people you went to school with, your community. What is your community? It could be your techie community, that you network, or it could be your network exactly, my old, in the UK, my chiropractor, he used to have a network session every whatever day of the week it was, let's say it's Tuesday, and he met with butchers, bakers, anyone that was in the Essex area, and they were a community that would recommend each other because they had developed that rapport, they had developed that sense of connection. I taught people that actually printed my tarot cards, I taught their children to drive, and I met them when in my very first job. So, Angie and John were part of my community, and then they kind of came up with, you've taught my children to drive, now you're actually going with this new business. And Angie went, I've got a real feeling, Anne-Marie, this is going to be a success. And I think that, those images that you've got for your tarot cards, we're printers, why don't you print them? And we'll give you a great price. And I said, let's do it. So we did. So in the community, but Angie and John were connected to glazers, supermarkets, authors, publishers, big London stores, big London stores, the elite, the amazing ones. They did their work, they did their printing, they did their designs. So they networked, and that's what I'm saying. If you are in that kind of hub, it's great because you become inspired, or you become disillusioned and go, what, they're doing 10 times more work than I'm prepared to put in, this is never going to happen. Or I'll just enjoy what they're doing and watch, or I'll become inspired, or I'll leave because no way am I doing any of that. One way or another, you'll make a decision, won't you? You see? So the star card, hopes, wishes, but it's about our community, and it's always attached to something that is like the techie side of things, computers, software, hardware. So this sometimes comes up for people that are developing software and they're creating something and they're progressing. So that's possibly what this pair could actually mean. Remember, we're saying we don't have a question. Or this person is actually hoping to work remotely within one of the communities I've just mentioned, too many there, and they want to travel. Well, people in the community are probably so linked that they can pull some strings to say, well, I know a fellow that wants somebody and they are in X country, but you would need to actually contact them and travel will be involved. So your hopes and wishes usually come along with the people that you keep company with. And that's why it's so important that you protect your energy from people that are not serving you well or make you feel bad for the choices that you make because they're not in line with theirs. And if you're not vibrating on that frequency, probably better off to actually go it alone for a while until you connect with the people that you are on the same vibe with. It can be lonely in between, so think carefully before you do that. It can be, because people don't just suddenly turn up to replace the old with the new. But new will not come in if you have stuff around you that probably says, people judge you by the company you keep. So if you're hanging around with people that probably think what you're doing is a joke, or they don't take it seriously, or they're trying to actually get you to come out and play instead of actually put your head down and get on with your business and create what it is you want to create, So make sure you've got the right community around, because yes, these things do happen. That's what networking is. That's why people pay a fortune to be in certain networks. The old boys club, the old school tie club. There, why? Because it's who you know. And it's like, oh, that's not right. You've got to be able to do what it is you're asking for. People don't just say, oh, I'll do you a favour, you know nothing about it. They will only connect with you because you have something to offer, and they can be the other piece of that puzzle that can make it happen for you. You see? So 3 of Wands, card of maybe relocating. Relocating to where? Well, you know what, on the courses I do teach you how to actually look up the countries. Only if the cards come out in the spread, and you'd have to do the courses to find that one out. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, a plus we do timing, which I'm not giving away on this either. We can only do so much in the short time we've got together. You know that I say that, and I have this plan for pairs. If you want to do the courses, they are available on my website, tarotwithemmemarie.com. Hope. Your hopes might happen because of the creation of partnerships. When the 3 of Wands is coming up, it's telling you that this is around you now and it's time to take action. This isn't about I think it, I feel it, I might, oh I want, I don't want. It's none of that. It's the opportunity's there right now. Connect with your crowd. Your hopes and wishes can happen due to the creation of partnerships. New partnerships, maybe. We don't know. We haven't got the full card there. All right. And we haven't got it in a position, and we haven't got a question. Have a question, we can be specific. Have it in a position in your spread, we can be specific. Who, what, where, when, which, how. All that comes up in the spread. One spread that I teach you. That's it. No need for reversals. No need to do this spread, that spread, the other. Yes, it's kind of based on the beginnings of a Celtic cross, but it's much more than that, and it goes into the details where you can actually feel satisfied because you've learnt your stuff and you know the answer to the question. Why? Because it's in the cards. It's no different to learning the alphabet. When you put letters together, words form, sentences, paragraphs, and so on. You see? So if we had this as one of the points of what 3 of Wands might mean, so many different meanings. How do you know the right one? You've got to practice, and you having a question, that's going to be the first part. That's why I say to you, make it easy for yourself. Don't try and impress them. It's your business how you do your readings, not how someone else, oh, that's cheating. You know, I've heard that said, and it's like, if you think so, it's fine by me. I'm sorry, I'm not the reader for you then. They've never gone. Never, ever. And I'm sure they could. Sometimes I wish they would. Why? Because they're rude. Oh, all right then. It's like, don't do me a favour. It's up to you. Seriously. No, go on. And the vibe then is like, that's what's going to come out in their cards, isn't it? Not just their vibe, because you don't particularly like them, but simply because you've not started, you've not connected. They've got a brick wall there. And oh, well, you're only reading the cards. No, you're supposed to be connecting with them. They are blocking you. They're supposed to do a job. You see? And it's like, no, I'm not one of those that goes, oh, I can't have that noise, or turn off EastEnders in the background because, you know, I'm giving you a reading and you're trying to keep the kids quiet. Not at all. But if you've got somebody that's actually ready to attack, or they're defending themselves because they're nervous, it's not helping you. So you can say the right things, and if then they're rude, it's hard for you. I've been there, I know. And, you know, next time they come along and you remember them, you can actually go, gosh, I remember last time we didn't really connect. I think perhaps I'm going to say, let's leave it today, go and choose someone else, seriously. Why not? I have done that. And it's like, you know what, you were really rude to me. really, really rude, and I mean rude, swearing and shouting and screaming. I think that people, when they are on these platforms, can actually think it's a bit like road rage, isn't it? Where you feel that you're in your car and you can scream and shout, and that person can't hear you, but they can tell you're angry. They might not need to hear what you're saying. They can tell by your whole non-verbal form of communication that you're not a happy bunny, and you think you can put your foot down and accelerate and they can't catch you. What if that car's faster than yours and, you know, they're an advanced driver, or, you know, this is something that I think is great fun. You don't know, and you've got to be careful. And I do try and encourage you to be aware of the things that I know have caused good readers to want to jack it in, or feel that they did something wrong when they didn't, or that they did do something wrong and they're aware of it and they want to make sure it never happens again. And we've all done that. It's called growth. And we can only grow by actually learning through plenty of our mistakes. And our mistakes can be giving them far too much carte blanche. Oh yeah, you know, yeah, what do you want me to read on? Oh, nothing, just okay. Doing what they want. It's your business. They've come to you, and as I said before, you would not expect a baker to be selling what a butcher sells. And they may have got that wrong. I thought that, you know, the baker sold meat. We don't. You'll find that out, but sorry about that. You know, I thought it was psychic. If you're not comfortable with that term, I'm not. So I use my psychic skills. Yeah, I'm a card reader, I'm an astrologer, I'm trained in psychic development and all the rest of it. I'm trained in chakras, numerology, whatever you want. I don't call myself that. It's all nuanced. Somewhere it comes in. Colours, you know. Gosh, I can't remember when. Colour and its meaning. Very useful. I wouldn't just read the cards and just, the colour blue tells me this. Boring. Might be useful, but that person wants some answers, and you might just be giving them too much of fluff. Maybe some people want fluff, but probably will find that's face to face. So I'm just trying to help you be comfortable in different areas, as well as teach you about pairs. Okay, so let's get rid of this word and bring in another card. Let's choose one of our favourites. Okay, wow, we're not going to do that. Card's missing for some strange reason, so sorry about that. Hang on a minute. No, I popped it in the bin. Okay. So if we had this one, the Emperor, see, things can go wrong with the very best of intentions. On the PDF, the second card didn't show. And I do apologise for that. But, you know, I do this every week, and I change the PDF every week, and there are 22 combinations and a lot to set up. And believe it or not, I finished a reading and had to get myself and the studio ready within an hour. Well, it was less than that, 40 minutes. So, yeah, even with the best will in the world, you can miss something. So my apologies, I do not have the Three of Wands there to show you on the PDF with the combination of the Hierophant. So we do that one a lot, so give that one a miss. Emperor. Stretch beyond your comfort zone in your ambitions. Okay? Emperor. Running your own enterprise, being in charge, being the daddy, being the father figure, being the boss. Loads of meanings. But that person is ambitious, and they, a bit like I'm saying, if you want to, you've got to be serious. You can't be fluffy. Sorry. Just reaching to try and switch off my aircon. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to just put this on and I'll switch the aircon on. It's getting a bit chilly in here. Right, so you can find all of that on my YouTube channel, which is the Tuesday podcast, which is, we call it Tarot Twists, okay? So I hope this is going to be, we went on this one where let's go back. We that's the Two of Wands. Can you believe it? I've had one of those days. See? Been doing this a long time and things go wrong. My apologies. If we went on that one, I'm going to apologise yet again. See what I mean? But it's actually been able to say we have the Emperor, I think. Is it that one? Yeah, that's what I had on the screen. It's because I put the other one on. I've got scenes and they're all set up differently. So we said that the Emperor is all about ambitions. And the Three of Wands could be many meanings, which I'm about to show you. So it could be ambition around travel. And as I said, the Emperor is a cool figure who is... Thank you so much for the thumbs up, by the way. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Love it when you do that. So yeah, you could have ambitions of wanting to travel. Why? Because you're an entrepreneur, or because you want to, learn to be your own boss, or you want to become a CEO, or you actually want to bring, you might be the daddy and you might actually want to bring up your children or your family in a place other than where you are. You want to travel, and you might want to travel to far distant lands, or you might want them to be more in the city, so there's more opportunities, or the opposite of that, more as in rural, so that they are able to learn more about the environment of nature, and that's what you want for them. Whatever. It's a combination. Again, we're saying, let's say they've not asked a question, which is the difficult one that they do to us all the time that makes us go, oh gosh. But as I said, you can change all that by just saying, what's your question? How can I help? What's on your mind? And if they are calling late, one of my readers used to say, are you awake at night? What's keeping you up, darling? That's what she used to say. Wonderful. I loved her. She was busy until she did the night shift for us. She was busy until 7 in the morning from 11 at night. Constant calls. We were 24-hour service, and Belinda and Lucy, that was the way they were. But if you don't talk like that, don't. If you're comfortable talking like that, do. And that point me going, all right, darling, how are you today? It's not me. And it will show. So you've got to find the side of you where you're comfortable. All right? So yeah, it might involve travel. It might be you're ambitious and progress is there for the taking right now. Look at the opportunities that are around you. It may involve the travel of relocation, not just a travel trip. Oh, well, I went off as into Europe to see what's happening. I'm back home. You might need to relocate. Are you ready for that? So, it might be on your mind. Might be part of, I'm not sure. I'm thinking about it though. Or I am sure. I don't want to relocate. Creation of partnerships. Well, we know that. Yeah? And that could come from the fact that you're ambitious. Yes. And, all this networking that I was talking about, you need to be part of that. And am I part of that? Yes, in my own way. Lots of different things. I'm in different courses. I'm always on a different course. I've done loads of courses in person, online, and different communities, and exploring, which is exactly what this card is, there you go, exploration. If you're ambitious, you're always exploring what's behind the curtain, what's out there. If I put my ships out, will they come back with something for me? That's really, a good way of looking at Three of Wands. What are you creating? You're expanding. You are going for growth. And that is exactly a perfect example. So You know that I do the courses, they're being updated as we speak. If you go on the website, you'll see a few changes. They're not quite there yet, but we'll make an announcement when they are. They are all ready. We're just making it look so that you can tell it's different, the update. And if you're ambitious as a person, why not look at exploring being your own entrepreneur like the Emperor, and looking at your business and saying, I want to do my spiritual work. What's the best way of doing it? We've got to be your own boss, and that means you've got to have some boundaries, and I can help you with that here. Okay, having experience for many, many years, a lot of things where I can help you with that, or someone that I know definitely can help you with that. All right, thank you so much for all your support and all the thumbs up. That was really, really lovely. I do appreciate it when people just let me know that they're with me. So thank you very much indeed. So from me, Anne-Marie, I hope you have a beautiful week. Lunar eclipse going on this week. And I know people watch this at different times, so I'm not going to say too much about that. But if you want to find out more about that, then, go onto YouTube and find out what's happening in your area. I can tell you I've been very busy making sure that all my crystals are cleaned and ready for being recharged, because I can feel that beautiful energy. I believe that it is in Libra. So with that said, I'll see you on Thursday for another in-depth tutorial about the Wand family, and I'm sure you can guess which one it is, but I won't spoil the surprise until I actually post. Until next time, bye for now.